Welcome back. So we aren't going to say go woke or go broke, but it's certainly not a good strategy for the bottom line of a business. Joining us now to discuss is PublicSq founder and CEO Michael Seifert. Michael, thanks for joining us today. So your company, it's called PublicSq. I actually saw a couple of your folks over at a conference. A lot of people praising you, but you provide high quality products, you say, for people who don't hate you. Talk to us more about that. What a great marketing strategy.
It's pretty simple, honestly. We have been unfortunately witnessing over the past decade a lot of these companies like Anheuser-Busch or Target or Disney or Ben & Jerry's as of late that for whatever reason have stood adamantly against the more traditional values that literally tens of millions of Americans hold dear. And so for us, we wanted to kind of push back against that in a hopeful and positive manner by creating this marketplace at PublicSq.com where you can find the world's largest repository of businesses that love the country, love the Constitution, and the values that it protects. They're family-friendly businesses. They won't try to lecture you about gender when you're just trying to buy a cup of coffee.
Yes.
It's pretty simple.
It's so smart. And you mentioned, we have Target that we've talked about, Anheuser-Busch, a lot of these companies. It doesn't seem to work for them because think about all the money they lost, but they continue to do that instead of just selling a product.
Well, and to put some numbers behind it, over $50 billion in market cap eviscerated in just the last 60 days from Target, Anheuser-Busch, and Disney alone. So you witness that this is not a lucrative strategy for these different businesses. Target alone, $15 billion drop in market cap. Their stock was downgraded twice. And our message to consumers is very simple. If you're frustrated of witnessing these companies turn into progressive social activism organizations, the best way you can push back against that without just having to boycott is actually to shift your dollars to a small business that you can feel proud of supporting. And we're glad to showcase those at PublicSq.
Have things changed for you since a lot of the Target controversy and the Anheuser-Busch? Have you seen more businesses come? Have more people come?
Yeah, we actually have doubled our size in just the last 4 months. It's been incredible to witness the big migration of a lot of these consumers. A good example are the moms. So Target has appealed for years to more conservative moms, but in the last few years with the bathroom debacle and then this recent move to discuss gender and sexuality with kids, you have a lot of these moms that are moving their purchasing power to our platform. So our average consumer on the platform is a mom who's excited about shopping in alignment with her values and making sure that her values are passed on to the next generation.
So it just seems that more people, and I think these companies were hoping, look, if we make this message or we get political or we talk about transgender, that it's going to make sense. But you have to wonder, is it just a small percentage, of their customers that care about that? What are people saying to you? Because obviously going woke doesn't work, and we're seeing the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I think what people are saying en masse is the fact that, if you look at Bud Light, when that debacle took place, we had an 800% increase in searches for beer on our platform. And when consumers found what they were looking for, it largely comprised of mom and pop local brewers that they went in, they got to know the owner, they had this incredible trust-based connection. So the average sentiment is I actually feel like I'm supporting my community again. I like this small business feel. Nobody feels good about shopping from like the same 5 companies for everything. And so while some people could label this as political, we actually believe this is far deeper. It's about the principles that guide this marketplace. And we believe that if consumers will take the extra step to support these small businesses like we're describing, as a response to these woke corporate entities, we are going to see our country change for the better.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yesterday I didn't even know this until I was researching. So it was the inaugural Cancel Culture Awareness Day. So according to the organizers, their mission is to bring attention to the dangerous practice of swiftly ruining reputations and destroying livelihoods through online attacks by internet moms without regard for free speech, due process, or severity of consequences. Are we starting to see that everyday Americans, as you are seeing, are fighting back? So just, even when it comes to not even their buying power, but who they're following on social media, what they're doing, who they're aligning themselves with.
Yeah, this is part of a broader cultural trend that's sort of anti-status quo in nature. What I'm really excited about is that it's actually it's a very positive movement. The consumers that come to our platform, and we now have well over 1.1 million consumer members on the platform, these consumers are hopeful for a better future. So what I like is that it's not just Kid Rock shooting the Bud Light cans, although that is funny. It's an actual hopeful response. People wouldn't go out of their way to spend money in alignment with their values with these different brands if they didn't feel a hope for a different future. So the response that we're seeing is overwhelmingly positive. And at PublicSq, the people that are benefiting the most are the small businesses, which is exactly what we love to see. These are the right types of businesses that deserve our dollars, and they're prospering in the process.
And it's so important to support small businesses anyways. You have Small Business Day in November, but every day should be Small Business Day. Any pushback? Have you seen any negative press, any negative comments about what you guys are doing?
Anytime you're on the right track, I think you're going to experience pushback, and we've certainly been no exception to that. What I will say is that anytime people push back against our message, our response is kind of like, what exact part of this do you not like? Do you not like that we're so pro-family? Do you not like that we're so Constitution? We recently introduced a baby bonus where we gave all of our employees $5,000 if they have a baby or adopt.
Wow.
And we got pushback for that, which was such a strange thing. So at the end of the day, anytime we receive any backlash, it's always converting into, wait a second, this is kind of common sense.
Right.
We should probably support this marketplace.
Yeah.
So we welcome it.
No, I think what you guys are doing is great. Michael Seifert, appreciate it from PublicSq. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Of course,